Nation of Islam, Dr. Elijah Muhammad, understood also. Okay, but I get what he's doing.
Just hit this button.
You know, he's not saying or doing nothing wrong. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Allah said, we're not disrespecting the messenger. He's the messenger.
And the last.
Right. And yeah, no question. That's to the black man in America. Definitely, we're not here to do that. You know, and Allah taught, man. Listen, man, you're here. We're not here to overthrow government. We're not here to hate YE. Peace to my brothers, Panthers, and all the other organizations. We're not here to do that. You're here to go to work because you got a family. You lay down with her. See, we're not going to do that. We're teaching productivity here. But before all that, let me empower you with who you are. That's what Allah did. Historically, hands down, that's what He did. So first, let me give you the knowledge. Then, when you start coming around, like the brother Sean and a few other brothers start coming around, all of us did. And Mecca, Son God, myself, everybody, born. Listen, man, to be a 5%, you gotta go to school. You gotta work. You said the right man, yeah, I sure did, but you need to make yourself marketable. Right, we teach your education one that will enable you to be self-sufficient. That's what this knowledge does. I'm not teaching you to always work, because it's honorable, but grow also. Don't just get stuck with just, that grow. Like how can I, elevate the standards of my condition? Because make no mistake, people watch. I've watched young men like you come here, and your team, right? Because what's your name again? I'm sorry,
Bazi.
Bazi? Yo, Bazi, what's up, man? Yo, so I know from you. You ain't no murder, man. Like you be hanging on Murder Avenue, really, what you doing? Like where you be going? Or I'll be in Harlem. So what's going on? What's popping in Harlem? Or I'll be at school. Or you going to school? Yeah, well, law school. All right, but some keep it moving. Some like, okay. They say it changed, but then they say it changed for the better. Not saying necessarily, listen, because you're not a 5%, or you're not, or you're young, doesn't mean you're a savage, or you not my brother. But if I'm coming here to this class, because it's what we're doing here, and you influencing that, and that's important. So. Yeah, peace. We just reiterating, dealing with the history, what we teach, and going different places within the foundation of that. So this okay, peace, young man. Your name is?
Christopher.
Peace, Christopher. Have a seat. You come to class?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Where you from, Christopher?
Orlando.
Oh, we got some Orlando, Cream City. We got some celebrities here. Are you coming, but you're coming from, you live in Orlando?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a seat. You may call me that. My name is Shah. Shah. Your name is again? Christopher. Okay. Okay. You live there, or you just,
No, I live in Orlando.
You live in Orlando.
I came out here.
Okay, but what brings you to the class? What brings you?
My educators up in Houston. I know about the nation, like I was getting the knowledge. I'm in the Lodge history right now.
All right. Okay. All right. You get. Okay. Good. What is your educator's name?
There's serious mathematics and excuse me, I'm slipping right now. Self-saving.
Okay.
Self-saving from Houston?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know those brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I could come by way.
You had to move this piece. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm telling the story, but again, for the purpose of education. So. Let me ask you a question. Who's the leader who's the founder of the 5%?
Allah.
Okay. You know what year we started? Stand up here and make sure you don't see the year. You got the year on the board.
It was.
I'm gonna get
1966.
It's close.
Yeah,
Close. 64. 67 when we got to school. This school. 1964 is when we 1964 is when he started, October. Right, yeah, October. All right, so that's big. What made you want to get the knowledge?
Just hearing lies everywhere and then hearing this, it kind of just sat with my spirit and it was like.
Okay. And how old are you, young man?
18.
Huh?
18.
Woo! more time. One more time. Ah, woo, man. Yes, man. Give me yeah, man. Young G right next door to you. Right next door to you, 20. You know, mom, just, you know. We men, we ain't women. Women like, I'm telling them how old I am. Those men like, yeah, all right, but yes. But yes, the youth. Allah taught.
Came to the youth.
Yeah, he came to the youth.
Yeah.
He taught all people, but and there were people who left the mosque with him.
Yeah. Justice.
No, justice not leave the mosque.
No.
Allah meant justice in the
On the
street.
street. Right?
Yeah, that's a common misunderstanding. But they were young men. Black Messiah was 16, Al Jamal was like 13, Prince was 18. Then you had other people that came who was brought, because Prince brought God Supreme and ABG on board, right? And they were young men. I'll show you pictures of them when we come out. It's like a historical thing I can show you before you leave, you know. So he taught the youth. Because most people do 1964, right? And even now, but especially that, there was nothing for the youth. We had the Masons, the Christians, Nation of Islam. I remember, in fact, my first introduction to this knowledge was through them, but only because my brother was older. You had adults, that, you know, and they were there. They were in the street teaching now, mind you. Again, I'm not here to disparage, but in the early history of this, man, you know, there was nothing for the babies. You know what I mean? So Allah, and listen to this one. Allah himself was young. I didn't even catch that until like the mid-70s. I said, man, he was 36. Wow, he was a young man himself. He was assassinated at the age of 41. He was young. King was 30-something, and Malcolm was 30-something. All three of these men were young men, you know, leading, you know, the people, you know. And like I was telling you before, Jesus, like Allah, you know what I mean? Small group, 1964. You're talking again historically turbulent times. You're talking about the Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act of 1964, meaning, nigga, you couldn't even eat my super in my restaurant. Orlando, shit. What? Ms. Johnson, I know you've been on black children and over here. Okay, all right now. You know, and here in Harlem too, and in Queens. You ain't gotta go. It was just more pronounced in the South, of course. But I had to go get my grandmother. White man, I'm in Queens, right? I go inside the Woolworths, bumping. I'm going to do some wrong, so snatch some candy, right? But if I go, I bump into him. He said, "What you want? He said, what you want, nigga?" And when he said he came like his low intestine, when he came, I was like, whoa, hat was all twisted. I said, man, let me go get my man. I said, yo, now these dude call me a nigga. You know, who calling you that? You know what I mean? Because that one wasn't as rampant like it was in the South. Like, you know, just because he came from, like, you know, get back in the field type, you know. But that was addressed. But yeah, law came during this period, right? And you know, he gave us the knowledge. I was going to some of the class before you came in, some of the steps. So he develops 120. 120 is I call it now. It's, you know, our lessons, right? And supreme mathematical alphabets are keys to unlock the doors to these lessons. Did you fast?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, that's one of the requirements. You know, let the God know. I mean, it's good. It's good. You know, you're exploring. You need to read. We don't read. But if I'm taking a step now. Like I'm to be a 5%, I need to do that. The reasoning for that is this. One, it kind of like gets the body to start the process of cleansing itself. Right? Simultaneously, say like while you and the God is building, right? Because the body comes in, but you're talking about not eating. I always tell a funny story about this one. When we became 5%, she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in this classroom. So 8 of us are attracted to the knowledge, to the truth. So we get to the God and Maker. So, yo, want it now? Yeah. So, okay. Okay, so you gotta fast. So having no formal education really, what you mean, run? Give it. You know, say, nah, I mean, run fast, eat fast? Like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not, don't eat for 3 days. All right, so that's 3 people leaving. Oh, I'm not doing that, bye. Shit, I'm not doing that one. You know, how bad did I want it? So I was like, okay, you know, so God being a good teacher showed us how to. Different day and time then, because there wasn't a whole lot of diabetes and hypertension and, you know what I mean, people were taking a whole lot of medication, you know what I mean, so we were just like straight, don't eat, water, you know, then let that be minimal. You know, but all the while, he's got us because they understand the body's going to become sensitive because your body's on a routine. I eat at this time, or whatever your eating regimen is.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Or in between, whatever your regimen was. Now you're instantaneous, the neuron transmitters is sending a message to the body, because the body's, the memory cell, yo, son, time to eat, you going to this store now? The brain's like, no, we ain't doing that. Okay, watch this. Stomach growling, mouth getting wet and dry, and, you know, whatever, you got, you know, but, you know, your eagerness to want it, you know, it's those particular 3 days. Plus, it begins to, you get the impurities out of you too. Mm-hmm. Didn't even know later on that it takes meat 3 days to digest in your body. I'm eating meat. I'm not gonna, but it's not breaking it down like other foods. It's taking a minute. So the toxins and all that in there, it's just, you know, so the liver now that's filtering all that, have to work hard. It's just a whole lot of stuff I didn't know then.
Peace, God, and what you was adding on, like you say, like in today's reality, in the 1:36, he does not know he's my uncle. He does not know he's unclean. Like you taught it here.
Okay,
God, I'm teaching it like you taught it here, God, because you know, getting the knowledge of myself in this time that I've been doing it will open up my eyes to more love. To more from the Father to this man, awake me to this man. Well, I'm gonna say the name, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then to Marcus Garvey, and then make me look more into the truth. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Because like great leaders like Pedro Rizzo Campos, like Betan said, like he demolished the slavery in Puerto Rico. Right. So see, we gotta know our background. It's important to know the truth because the power is in the truth. And once you know yourself, the universe is open. Keep seeking knowledge. You know.
Okay. Sure. That was a good. That was a very good reference point. Okay, so 120 again. I say I'm not telling you to say that 120, but I always refer to it as a map. You know, and then the quoting, because it's important. You're 5%. You need to quote your lessons, but that's not what makes you a 5%. The only reason why I recite that hard, and he knows because of that, is due to when I do cite, like he did. See, like that's the 5th degree in the 1:36. Great reference point. So my uncle, because it's 5 degrees, 5 statements being made in there. My name's Dr. Muhammad. I come to North America by myself. My uncle was brought by trade 79 years ago. My uncle speaks his own language, and then my uncle's that no, he's my uncle. That's 5. 5 is power, right? But uncle's referring to man, woman, and child, in this case that was born here, that was taken from, you know, our homeland, Africa and Asia, and sent here and made slaves. The most, again, I go back there, and the most horrific and barbaric form of slavery ever imagined. In fact, so much so, shamed this white man so much so right now, at 140 something, they've already enacted law. I'm coming back. I'm going to get straight. But I didn't say this. Enacted laws in Florida, right? DeSantis and them. Listen, we're going to change how you address slavery. You're not going to say this is what you're going to teach, that the slaves that we took here benefited from slavery. They became blacksmiths, and don't teach them about this degree I'm talking about. It's called English C lesson number 1. C, because it's talking about colonization. I'm not going to tell you about how I took you from America, going to the Caribbean, raped and brutalized you. took your name from you. What's your name? No, what's your name?
My name is Sun God.
No, it's not. Nigga, your name is Pedro. That's your name. Huh? That's your name. I wish you would be on the shit. You look like you want to say your name is Sun God. Act like Sun God, and I'll beat you into it in your nigga ass life. Yeah, let me hit you with that one. See, I'm not gonna teach that. What I'm gonna teach is when I got you here in 1619 in Jamestown, Virginia. This is what he teaches in the books. The first 20 slaves came to Jamestown, Virginia, right? So, and then you want to snatch what happened to me in Jamestown, and then say this is what they're teaching. In Texas they're trying to do that, and Mississippi. I want you to teach of the slaves. Yes, Boz and them, they were blacksmiths. They benefited. Aunt Jemima and them, they were good mammies. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going there. They learned how to cook and clean and they domestic chore. Wow. And they had black people. My name is Kenneth Jones. I'm a historian from the Historical Black College, and we are going to teach the Harlem Renaissance and what happened subsequently thereafter the slave trade. Harlem Renaissance is a good history, contemporary, but that has nothing to do with how we got here and where we come from and who we are. See? Because they even arguing, the Arabs right now are arguing about Kemet, Egypt. Oh, you don't come from there. You know, no. You're just saying that because you want a fake bravado. You just want to big up yourself, you know, and you know, we live there and whatever. So,
whitewashing.
Yeah, indeed, God. You know, we whitewash history. And the reason why it's important, and the reason why we are such the Black Lives Matter and all these other things, because you took our history. Somebody give me a pen. Is a pen available? I got one here. I got one here. No, it's in my pocket somewhere. Please tell me I got one here. Yeah, here you go. Let me tell you something, man. Dudes running around talking about the Glock 9mm, you drill music, and you got the vest on, and then I'll kill you with this shit. In fact, I wrote that into history so you can do that, dummy. With this pen. With the stroke of this pen. Yes, I did. You had nothing to do with that. Don't beat me there. In fact, the words that flow out your mouth, that fashion, well, drill music is the genre of hip-hop, and we did that. I told you to say that. Stupid. And how I did it? Because when people like Born and Boz and them were on the mic, doing their thing, but bringing people closer to this power, which is this truth. See, once again, you're cutting into 10%, you're cutting into my pocket. No, because you're waking them up. Public Enemy and NWA and pro-righteous teachers and Rob Kent. Oh, no. Okay, this is what we're going to do. What you want to do? I want to do, I'm from the 5%. Okay, what you want to do? I'm trying to get this gap. Oh, come on in, got you. In fact, rap actually gives you the history of how they were starting to do that. We look into some of its origin, its development, right? But again, with the pen, I was trying to show you the pen. Yeah, this thing is crazy. This thing is mighty than sword. Yes, it is. But going back to Sun God's, the 5th degree in our lesson talk about my uncle. Does not know he's my uncle. Just for the sake of argument. Spell uncle.
UNCLE.
Spell unclean.
UNCLEAN.
That's right. And you can't spell unclean without spelling the word uncle. And I say my uncle, I'm an uncle. But uncle, in his analogy of how, right, the people were made unclean.
At that time,
And now, yes, God, you correct. But now, right? And this is why these men like Elijah, Allah, and all these other men had to come, because you took us from here. There would have been no Allah coming to teach us if you left us alone. But he had to come in the time that he came.
Fraud.
And then he left, the lives were doing things. Allah saying, I'm taking it a step further. So I'm gonna fashion this knowledge, I'm gonna change this up. This lost and found was some lessons. Right? Knowledge is the what?
It's the key.
Is also, yes.
Accumulation of facts.
Knowledge is one word I'm looking for.
Knowledge is to know the ledge.
Foundation.
Yes. And you can't spell the word foundation without the word.
Found.
Right. See? Because so much all of us in this classroom. Yourself included. Right. You said it yourself. Peace, Chris. He comes out of Orlando, Florida. He came just now coming from his family came from, this is my big brother here. Yeah, his family's from Florida. He goes there frequently. They came here, to visit. It's my big brother, one of the brothers, man, who assisted us, man, in the early years. And Dinosaurs Walked the Land. We were teaching then. You know what I mean? And he was one of the brothers, and him and just like him and them that were influential in teaching the youth. Then they were children themselves. Just like him, he's like 70. I'm right behind him. So imagine how old he was. I was 11, 12 when I got it from them. So he was like a teenager himself almost. Again, the truth being prevalent. Prevalent meaning being all over. Not to, I went straight from the story. And so I'm talking to this, going back to the story now, with this reverend, right? And so many words, crafty, I call it spiritual rhetoric, actually wanted me to change. Can you listen, I know you're saying the black man's God, and I know God is so much. I had to quote some Bible chapters from him, and like whatever, Then he says, in so many words, could you, like this, the historical slave journey, unfortunately, that we went through, can you change what you're saying? And so, it's an old saying that we have in this nation. A wise man can play a part of a fool, but a fool can't play a part of a wise man. Mm-hmm. Now, fool, I'm not trying to be a fool, but let me see what do you mean, sir, by change? Are you referring to what? Is what I'm saying affecting the Bible and what you do? Yes. Yeah, you get it? Yes, Chris, yes. And if you could just say, well, look at this dude here, like, you really, the grass is cut, the snakes to be revealed type thing here, and in the conversation, he really showed himself. I'm like, nah. I said, absolutely not. I absolutely not will do that. Thanks for having the conversation, interesting conversation. So you see me recognize the name to what I'm doing and then want me to change. My chest felt big. I said, thank you, F Mega. And thank this Facebook thing I'm doing. And this teaching period. But make no mistake. And you a young man too, you valuable. Woo! Right. You a black master charge card. Everybody named Mama is trying to get you and him. Yeah, man. People, period. But the younger the better. The younger the better.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Right? He's in Milwaukee. It was only 1, 2 people at best in Cream City. Right? Fighting. Because the mindset, correct me if I'm wrong here, the mindset, like anywhere, was like, because the knowledge is new. But then it flourishes. Off the muscle, just to show you up to people, where you from? Cream City. Oh, Milwaukee. Right, because their presence is felt. The truth, what's going on there, the activity. So you, okay, where you from? I'm from Orlando. Hopefully, down the road, Chris will become CLR. Yeah, man, where you from? Orlando? Oh, Pete, I know a brother named Chris. Now, he may not know you by that. But I remember, well, my educator's named CLR, or this is hypothetically, or Master, or Messiah. You know what I mean? Good name, great Messiah. You know what I mean? Yeah, so anyway, let's do that again. Yeah, but right, and then you got a picture? Like you did. Oh, it's my man. Yeah, that's the God. Yeah, I remember when he first came in. So now the question is, what's happening in Orlando? Oh, yeah, we building. It's like 10 or 12 of us now. We growing. That's how it started with us. It was 9. It was not, well. Allah comes out the mosque with a few people like Ibika and Shahid, and there were some people around his peripheral that were instrumental in this too. But the youth he taught, Black Messiah, Prince Al-Jamel, Kahim, you know what I mean, Bishmi, all these brothers. There were like 9 of them. Then they brought people to the fold, to the knowledge and wisdom. And it's right here in this corner. And like the power degree, and the 5th degree, and the 1 to 14. He said, one of our righteous brothers, who was a prophet by the name of Jesus, was buried there. Law went home here. And we sent further to the essence of life here in Mecca. What I mean by that is this, to make the association. Allah's our big brother. We called him the Father. In fact, he didn't like being called that. Because he felt that, listen man, when you do that, you take away from, your father, or whoever the male figure is, I'm your big brother. You know what I mean? That's why you got a lot of older 5%. Because, well, that's the elder, don't call me that, I'm not in church. I'm your big brother. Although I get what you're saying, you're not slighting my character when you say that. I get what you mean. But I'm your big brother. Well, Allah was our big brother. But I call him the Father using mathematics.
Yeah, I call him the Father.
Because his ability to be able to see the furthest. Because he's seen the Father in us.
Yeah, he made a declaration of independence.
Right, and he sure did. He furthered that. Right, but make no mistake. And they always show their head. And one of the devil's greatest tricks is, okay. What's your universal greeting? What's your universal greeting? What's our universal greeting? What does the 5% say when they see each other?
Peace, God.
Peace, right? Well, peace. Yes, peace, God. Right? Because peace is the absence of all confusion. But make no mistake, he gonna use it too. And I'm gonna wait till it's calm. That's my best way to attack you. Now that's why I understood later on in life as I got older, especially from the guard from Brooklyn, from Medina, because they back then, they were like, don't, if I didn't know you, don't shake my hand. I'm not, we gonna know each other. Where you from? We care about how young you are. You looking like you just got similar. I'm saying, where you from? Oh, you're from Bed-Stuy. I'm from the other part of Orlando. This street and that street. Yeah, who taught you? Messiah and them. Yeah, we call Messiah. Messiah, you know this dude? Yeah, I know. Okay, bet. All right, peace. Come on, we talk to you because we understand. You know what I mean? Because our degrees teach us that if you allow someone just to come among you or say peace, they're stinging someone else. Everything with the 5% is subjected to be shown and proved. Coming back, with the Father, when they started like Jesus, when they seen his truth became prevalent, because they looked at him because you had a lot of organizations. In what year the nation started?
1964.
There you go, right? Like the Panthers, Mau-Maus, you had a whole lot of people, student nonviolent coordinating committees, and all kinds of people was around. We had a lot of people that was around, right? So we were small, 3, 4 at most, in Harlem. The Panthers, these nations and organizations were known all over. California, Florida, Chicago, yeah, they were all over. New York. Peace to them, was my brothers, you know what I mean? You know. But here come these two, you know. But again, his truth, like Jesus, because this how you knock Jesus off. Similar fashion. One more time. So let me give you a crash course to this. I know when I see the comments on this YouTube, it'll be some will argue that he existed, and some will argue that he didn't fill in the whole blank. But here's the crash course. So there were no churches with him. It's a word called peripatetic. I taught as I walked. Right? Boom. So, you know, I think walking around, 1, 2, 3. he brings 3, 4, 5, right? Then all of a sudden our group is growing. But again, the government and the Pharisees, these were people who, come on, we're big. Our money's to the roof.
Well, they controlled everything.
That 85% of people love me, but then now they're seeing money's a little short today. Yeah, I know. Oh, well, because you had a lot of people, they were going to see this 5%er named Jesus. What? Who's that? So somebody find out who he is.
Yeah. Send a scout.
Yeah, who are you, man? Oh, yo, my name is my name is Messiah. Messiah. You young dude, man, get out of here, man. You know what I mean? You know, like, okay, listen, do me a favor. Look, on Saturdays at 1:55, don't be doing that. My truth don't have limitations. I'm gonna teach however I teach. What? That's how that's gonna go. Why are you afraid of me and you're this big? I'm a little guppy compared to you. Why are you shook? Then later on, you grow even further. And then, in fact, what rocks them is some of their people leave. Now, I'm not messing with you, dude. I'm messing with Jesus and them. Messiah and them dudes. Okay, bet. You know what? Go grab this dude up, man. We find who he is, man. Yo, come here.
Yeah.
Right? Then they check your life because they see how relevant, how far and wide now you've grown.
Development. Like
Same thing with the law. Right? Starting rooftops, barbershops, dope dens. That's what he taught. Right? Oh, these are Muslim gang dudes. Right? Until they seen, right, two things. Lindsay goes into the halls of government. He empowered Lindsay. Lindsay's like one of our first white 5%ers. I don't mean like honorary. Like he went into the listen, man. Excuse me. You know, I even know. I'll use a law because I'm sure he uses his honorable name. We don't do that. But your law to me, they ain't no gangs.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to. Don't worry about them, man. Trust me, I know. I spoke to at the Glamour Inn. Yeah, Gottlieb and them was just talking to him. Oh, okay, yeah, and then Burt Roberts says to the contrary. You could be a law in Brooklyn, you could be a law wherever, but you come to the Bronx, I'm gonna lock you all up. With that, teach that here. I'm gonna let you know. I know what it is. Again, you're the true living God, I'm the true living devil. Don't you ever forget that. I will kill you. It has not stopped. It has not. No. But just because you made some strides, you made strides because you had to make strides. Why did you make strides? Because I was in your way every fucking time. Every time you talked about I was in your way.
102.
In fact, we just overturned affirmative action. Just turned, see? That rocked my boots. My hand still flipped to the side over that one. And affirmative action was started in 1961. I forgot, we had a national class we was going. Anyway, but affirmative action in schools. That not the whole, but as it relates to schools. So this dude ain't playing with you, man. And how do you do it? Strategically. You don't want to even vote. You still think because Allah Shah born and Divine Prince talking about protesting, oh, that's some old school, we don't do that. I got my gas, son, and they disrespect me. Okay, that's not what we're doing. You're going to jail now. For real. Because you didn't want to do it, and you didn't want to vote. Now when people come and like, listen, man, you know, my name is John Splivengate, Sean, vote for me. Now, I ain't voting for you, man, because politics. But this might have been the man to open the door for you. But because you didn't, and that mindset is prevalent, I got my people in. And I got my people in different places. And then when I get my people in, then I get them in to places like different areas of government. Then I get the president in. Check out what he do. Then we work on, because once I'm the president, I appoint who goes into the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. And how'd I get there? Because you didn't want to vote for me. Stupid. Now, you gonna feel my power now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of my Supreme Court justices in there. Guess what they gonna do? We gonna overturn Roe vs. Wade, because there ain't enough of y'all in there. Then we gonna overturn affirmative action. And anything coming to your black nigga ass, we gonna do it. Woo, we got you. Yeah, I'm like, they don't use euphemisms and polysyllabic terms, but that's what they mean. Yeah, that's what they mean. So this is why another thing.
Yeah. Euphemism, I like that word.
Yeah, your milder terms for harsher ones.
Yeah, I like that word.
Yeah, you know, and then you can't even you got salt and moyo and a few other them in there, but you didn't have enough. It was 5 to 4, which means this now, and Bert Roberts, okay, John Roberts, whatever his name is, the chief Supreme Court. This was his decision.
Yeah, his name is Roberts, yeah.
Yo, the word was real crafty. He said, I'm gonna move on, that well, to get away from the action was about discrimination, but discrimination needs to be eradicated in every sense, meaning that don't discriminate against this white guy because 3 black guys want to come into your college. Why can't the white guy get in? Right? Because you want to give these 3 black men a chance. Yes, on their merit. Not because they black. Please, if I got to Harvard, Columbia, Yale, I got that on my merit. You really want to know the story? Yeah, my sharecropping mom and them got me up in there. I'm the first one to get there, but then what happens, another reason why actually because you wasn't allowing me to come in, because it was just the reverse. Statistics show it was more whites going in, and when I honestly showed you my merit and my levels of academia to get here, you denied me. So we legally argued, and they created this. And they didn't like that, because that was a win. Boom! Right? So they felt that. And see, the devil's greatest trick. Yes, how you doing, Chris? How you fucking, hey, Pete, on power. Hey, see you in Mecca? Rock him to sleep.
Right.
And while you rock him to sleep, and this is what you do. See, this is why the 5%, I keep telling you this, man, we utilize supreme mathematics here. Listen to what's being said around you. And this is what I'm saying. Because you've had a lot come among us. Or you don't want to vote for Majestic? I don't blame you. No, don't vote for your own. But, yeah. What's he going to do for you? You right, though. And then he come information. Yeah, listen, man, I'm going for city council over here in Brooklyn, 3rd district and whatever. Okay, here he come again. Hey, how you doing? We talking about information later on. Yeah, listen, you know he, and we're gullible. We don't examine. Right? I remember before Papa Wu passed away, me and him argued one day. We was at a memorial in Brooklyn by the LGs, right? The park, we got a park over there. And the more for people who passed away. Anyway, so the real tall, he's the tallest politician in New York. He has dreads, right? Black man. And he came to our function. Okay, he did the, but of course, if I'm gonna come among the people, I need to know your language. I can't come on, hey, peace to God, peace to God, peace, man. Yeah, what's going on? Listen, man, listen, I'm running for so-and-so. Here's what I bring to the table. So, that's my man, though. Get out of here, he was like all over the and politics, I said, God, stop, what are you doing? No, God. I get you, I understand, because a lot, you have to be on guard, but you gotta watch. Yeah, God, you gotta watch the politicians, but you have to be mindful, because we're in this world and we're here. So you have to, and God, and the 5% are in that field. We're in different facets of learning. Remember I told you before, we just a handful. Well, we are doctors and lawyers. We are policemen. We are politicians. I'm proud of y'all. We just doing our thing, yeah, and it was just a handful right here on this corner. Matter of fact, you can't go nowhere. Colombia, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, you can't go nowhere. And not Ghana, Botswana, and say peace, and we're not there somewhere. or they recognize the flag. Oh, okay, oh, okay. So my point is, what the Lord taught us was it empowered us with the knowledge of knowing who we are. What do you think this knowledge, what's one of the first things that we get to know about with this knowledge?
One of the first things.
Yeah.
Who you on?
Why you do that, God? Come on. That's your bad? You can leave now. You can leave now. Yeah, you want to help me how with it. Yeah, but that was it. That was it. Ain't no wrong with that, brother. You know, and he was dealing with equality, trying to help because he understands that you may not know. So he throws it in, but you got a mind like he do. So we're gonna exercise that. The only time we come to your defense or help is when we see you don't know. Okay, but now here's the answer. But seek the truth in your own judgment and righteousness. So, yes, the first thing is to know who you are. First. Then, because then when you get to discovering God, you know, because again, you know, that's like the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like, because you understand, I got it too. I thought the 5% was crazy. God, oh, you mean like the little, no. Oh, you mean, word? You'll do this? You can do that? Well, give me that power. You know, y'all can use some power, it ain't gonna be that though. And, you know, yeah, because we ignorant. In fact, I'm not trying to be funny. Spell ignorant.
IGNORANT.
Spell ignore.
IGNORE.
Right. And every time I ignore the truth, I put myself further in ignorance. You can't spell one without the other. Right. So, you know, so when I'm attentive now and I'm listening, because I didn't know I was ignorant. Right? You know, because that was what was around me. That was what was prevalent. Of course, one of the greatest falsehoods in mind control is religion. It's something to rely on. I'm going to that. No, hold on to your own bootstraps. Know who you are. So what happens is then once you know who you are, then where you from?
Brooklyn.
Where you from? Where you from?
Mecca.
Where you from? Where's Mecca? Okay.
Pelon.
Okay. All right. So wherever you from, right? Wherever you from, you that's where you gonna need to take your bill and grow at.
Yeah. Root. Yeah.
Right. You're gonna need to take your bill and you're gonna need to grow from these particular places. Right. So and no question. And make no mistake, people see you. Today people saw you. See, we take things for granted. Right? I wear glasses like some people do because it helps my vision, but the eyes around, because it gives you the well-rounded picture of reality. People watch you get up this morning. Well, I know he has the red and black on, he has the blue on today. He must be going somewhere. Hey, Bob, where you going? He said, no, I'm going to, okay, yeah, okay, babe. Oh, you going to Harlem? Yeah, okay, all right, got you. Oh, damn, Chris, where you? Oh, no, I'm going to visit some family in New York. But I'm about to, okay, yeah, okay. I don't know if you came back, you talking a little,
Funny.
talking a little different, yeah.
Yeah, fun. Okay.
Peace and showing food, and what's that? Right, and especially from an area that's relevant with racism, even now. Care how flooded you are with black people. You dancing to my beat. You killed your man, stupid. You didn't kill him because you had a beat. You killed him because I put a chip in your brain. And you did that. It wasn't, right. Because truth be told, a brother looked at me, I laughed. I'm walking, I get it. We got swag anyway. Black people have natural swag about it. Obama showed you that. He in the White House, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, right? So, but that's just who we are. With natural wisdom, a natural swag about who. That's why everybody loves copying from us. They love that, right? Because we the best thing to them than sliced bread, right? Damn, there's a point I'm getting ready to make here with that. Wow. There's a point I was getting ready to make with that too, man. Just that kind of senior moment here. but to come, the knowledge of something, but to come back, to knowing who you are, right? And then once that's done, then you can branch off into other fields and areas of study. But when you do, the difference between you and everybody else is the fact that I'm protect, my mind's protected now. Right, you can no longer tell me about Christopher Columbus and this one did that. You know, I'm working now, I work for you, but I know I'm only working to become self-sufficient at some point, not to continue working with Mr. Johnson's grocery store. I mean, it's honorable work. We're telling you to do that. You know what I mean? Why would I want to go, your favorite line back some 50 to 70, 80 years ago was go back to Africa, nigga. No. All right. Where you going? Because you ain't got no home.
Back to
you got to leave here too. Where you going?
Back to the cave.
Yes, God, thank you. All right, they cut that. Yeah, right. Go back to the Caucasus Mountains. Because we squared off land for you historically, truth be told. But I'm not leaving here because it was on our backs that we built this land.
Yeah,
The black and the brown people.
they owe us.
The Aztecs, the Mayans, the Mayans, and us, and whoever.
And I'm here to collect.
Right. So the knowledge and it allows you to know who you are, right? But also, here was one of the points I was trying to key in on. Also, people watch you, and people see, and you know, no question, man. They you know, okay, I see the improvement. You know what I mean? Because because they see that what was relevant. You know what I mean? But make no mistake. Especially when you go back home, or and we at a point now. It's not like when I was growing up. You got technology. So people watch. But then when you start to influence people around you, one or two people, you definitely know they're taking note. No doubt about that. But more importantly, it's about the knowledge. This knowledge is about self-improvement. First and foremost, let me improve upon self. Now listen, man, look. Again, I don't have a slave. You don't have a slave name. Christopher's an honorable name, actually. It's just that it's not your righteous name. Right? Because historically we need to also understand peace to your mother and father and whoever our caregivers were. You know what I mean? Allah said we ain't doing that. We're gonna, a slave name, my righteous name, hey mama, my name ain't got, don't do that. Allah was hard on, don't disrespect your parents, man. It's an honorable name. Allah told me that. 1979, Allah told me that. I told my mama, I told my mama, that, I don't give no slave name. My righteous name, he said, that's how you talk to your mother? You said that's your mother? Yeah. He said, you told your mother, the woman who laid on her back and experienced the pains of death? That's how the woman I gave it to me too. You know what I mean? That, Kenny, because my only name is Kenny Jones. I'm kidding about that. I know who I am. Yeah, you got to go, Mr. Jones, hey, how you doing? I know who I am. See, the knowing of who you are is important. And knowing the journey. I understand the etymology. Etymology is the study where names, or not names, where words derive from. Right? But the name also, the history of the names. I get it. They came from him. Cut to the chase. Came from him. But what didn't come from him was the knowing of who you are. Okay? Chris gonna mess their head up in a minute. Bob gonna mess their head up in a minute. So hey Bob, how you doing? See, because they figure a good name is better than gold. So if you're not coming with a name like Born or Allah Infinite, with profound, like that, once you say that, it's like But like Daquan and Javon, these are righteous names also. Because these are not names that come from us. Right? So when they hear them, oh Kenny, Christopher. Okay. Yeah, okay. So you know the Lord, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has come to, no disrespect to me. That's all right, thank you, man. I'm gonna deny you in respect. Why not? Well, I mean, look, no disrespect? Yeah, X, Y, Z. Now depending on this person, he knows. You got one that's woke. He's woke, you know what I mean? Right. So it's what I know. The name will come later. Yes.
Yeah, no, that I just sit here and I'm listening and I just think about all the stuff that I keep. The more I keep thinking about the treachery that these devils did, you know what I'm saying, it infuriates me, God. But I acknowledge of myself to, you know what I'm saying, to maintain that balance, you know what I'm saying, because within politics, economics, and colonization, man, it's like they was like if we were a people and you just came amongst us with a cross here. This no longer your way of life no more. This is what you is now. Like,
Oh, no,
change
exactly what happened.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's
the
exactly what
majority, of course you're gonna have an 85% of the population like that because that was introduced to you from the beginning of time until you learned freedom, until you learned the truth. That's why I stress it so much, because that power degree in the 1 of 14 and the 1 of 10 within the mathematics itself, that the truth is what awaken us. You see what I'm saying? So every time that I think about what they did, we are a merciful people because we forgive them. You know what I'm saying? Because if we was running around like they say, taking 4 devils' heads off and taking the degrees literally, it'd be different. But we taking the devil off the face of the planet Earth by teaching the unaware the knowledge of the self. That's how you take the devil off the face of the planet.
Okay, good. If I haven't said nothing else, Chris, Bob, I know most of my brothers already know this, but let me drop this on you. One of the greatest statements that Allah made and we make is this. Now, in this class, and I'm sure other class, and other things you will read. I'm an advent, read your history. Yes, Marcus Garvey, I run with his thing. History is important to people like roots are to a tree. Destruction of Black Civilization, J.A. Rogers, Superman and Man, Stolen Legacies, a whole lot of books, man. You know, some of our historians, I would have to tell you the weight, depending, because they're things, but this just, now, Allah taught, even though we understand the black man is God and who's the devil?
The white man.
Right, but he taught us that we are not anti-white or pro-black. He taught us that we are anti-devilishment, pro-righteousness. I didn't catch that part, because I heard that when I was coming up as a young 5%er, but subjectively means like things that I felt that happened to me, like the God said. Like he's still whipping us, man. He just, right? I'm a reactionary. I'm not responding based on that. But that's a real thing I'm doing, right? It's not like, you know, no, people got it. But then what happens is you start weaponizing your blackness, and that's strategically why and how. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Let me be very clear. Allah was smart. I didn't get that to 1980. I said, oh, I get it now. Because I was doing some studying on King. And that's how I bumped into that. Because I wasn't feeling King. We shall overcome. Blah, 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 let's hit you. No, get away. No. That's why a lot of the student nonviolent coordinating committee and a few people like H. Brown and a few people left. Right? Because they're like, I'm done with that. They kind of set the map and groundwork with there and abroad. One of mine, 5 of yours. The police knew strategically, okay, what's a highly concentrated neighborhood in Orlando?
Paramore.
Or Paramore. I could run all the way, I got the Paramore, that was a wrap, okay. All right, I'm gonna get you, Chris. Come, because you know I can't just come in there and get it, Chris. They ain't playing the family. Tight. They knew, they'll die for him. They'll get it from this bullet for him, man. They ain't playing. The information will be like, excuse me, Calvin, you think, okay, we'll get them for you. You bet, no, you want to be if you want to. All that means I'm scared of you, master, shipping my feet. We ain't out kidding what coming in.
Yeah.
Right, so we kind of got away from that. You know what I mean? But what happens later on, Kingston, see the camera? So I like when he comes in, loving him. This is the most powerful tool you could ever use. King was smart. King said, let me do that. I'm gonna put who this dude is right in front of you. You know, I'm a black. He said, first of all, we're civilized people.
Yeah, king.
Right? King the same thing Allah did. I'm not gonna weaponize my black. Did you hear? I had a dream speech. Research came and some of his speeches and sermons. I'm like, oh, he killed it.
Yeah, king was.
Especially the one they owe us. That's
Yeah.
King. Yeah, the blank check.
Yeah.
America owes us a blank
Yeah,
check.
they owe us.
Yeah, he went into like how, and he went into the economics and the specifics. I never heard King speak like. I said, oh, they get that.
Absolutely.
I said, my man King, yeah. And then I finally caught. I'm catching now about Allah, because when I got horse blinders on, black, 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 you know, and I'm not looking at things objectively. Right? What happens is then you allowed your enemy to do what he did now. I put my people in office because you still talking about, oh, nobody want to do that old school voting. That shit ain't gonna do nothing. Thank you. That's what I want you to stay stupid. Yes. Now, check this one in. Then, because of your stupidity and your ignorance, see, you should have been in that class Allah Shah was giving about ignorant. You can't spell the word ignore without spelling the word ignorant and vice versa. Or uncle without spelling unclean. Because your ignorance made you unclean. So you wasn't refined. So you don't have the power. So you gave me your power. Because you doing this shit here. Yeah. You know, don't do things that would be peace wise. Oh, get the queen with a peace to the queen. Yeah. Okay. When I'm examining, he gets his people in there, right? Because we do exactly that. So Allah was saying, no, I'm not telling you. That's okay. That's all right, Queen. Allah saying, because he taught Lindsay, Azrael, listen, man, you teach all human families. You're not going to indict. You're not going to emulate the ways of the slave master.
Yeah, that's why we're not anti-white.
Right. We're not anti him. We just understand, because when you know everything around you.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 5%. They teaching hate. And that truth is relevant, because what happens is, again, a story I constantly bring up, and that's some tourists came in here by accident, because we're not on the tourist list. They came in by accident, and then they were like, "Oh, excuse me, what is it you teach here?" Right? Put two of my brothers on the spot. But anyway, their answers were the most adequate answers. So then I got to explain, who Allah is in relationship to us, what the name of our nation is. But then again, in the background, here you go. Excuse me, yeah, do you think the white man is the devil? No, absolutely. Absolutely, right? But since you want to be shrewd about it, right? People here, you ain't saying it wrong, right? And then see, I'm gonna say, when you make that statement, one of the first things I do, I'm look at everybody else's face. They're like, oh, you do teach that? Some people like back, okay, maybe we in the wrong spot here. You know what I mean? So then I explained what we meant. No, I made you because you're right. You didn't put me and him in whatever in slavery, although you did benefit. In fact, when you're from another country, Denmark and this part and that, even though you're with them, trendsetters actually. But anyway, you didn't personally do that. But here's my point. But there's no, it's glass too. I'm glad that's shining in my face. Shard. Yeah. There's no place in history, now or then, wherever you go, where you cause havoc and mayhem. You did, especially then. Your predecessors and ancestors, absolutely. Devil, absolutely. You wear that well. You know what I mean? But that's not what we teach. Again, understanding and growing and learning. And reading. That's fun to the mental. Yeah, you gotta, that's important. Because you can't be strong in your house and weak in someone else's. Right. Someone asks you what, because for some people this day and time, unfortunately, to be, oh, he's anti-white. No, we're not. We're anti-devilishment. You should, I'm showing more of mine away than I do yours. Right. Because but I understand the effect. But again, I got it. And then when I started, and then when I see, and especially recently, the affirmative action, woo! No, I'm not trying to be, some people don't like what I'm going to say here. Bravo to him. When we take note from that page, how did he get in there? Exactly that, because your ignorance, because you didn't want to vote. But I got to believe you 1 second, but you feel my rationale though. You laugh at the process. Oh, it's a baby. Yeah. You laugh at the process. That's corny, man. Who's doing that now? Voting. That ain't gonna change nothing. And enough of y'all do that. And that's what he wanted you to. God, yes. You're right. That's right, Chris. Don't vote. You right. So what Trump was trying to do. Right? So, my man showed his head. Right? Got his people and they showed you what they were about. We ain't going nowhere. Look, we stormed. That is a national travesty. How do you storm the nation's capital?
They did it.
Woo! Yeah, God, if I stood right now and said something remotely close to that, like clockwork, people CIA, we talk to you? Yeah. They got me up out of here. But I like that, because again, the eye's round. You see. We ain't going to look at the hate. Get him, white power! Keep America great again, yeah! Yeah, they would, yeah, man, yeah. I was like, well, okay, and then moving forward a little bit, then we changed affirmative action in school, and then put a black man who was running for, let me fix my hat here, because that had my hat tilted. I got this guy's name, the bald-headed black guy is running for president. He wants to run for president, Republican.
Tim Scott.
Huh?
Tim Scott.
Tim Scott, yeah. I just want to say that, I understand that. We should get on here. It's two words I learned in that. It was meritocracy and mediocrity. One is on your merit. That we weren't going to school and that you were denying rights because blacks were trying to get in, but some of them wasn't going in on their merit. How dare you insult us like that? Hannah and Wise got to Columbia. How do you think they got there? They get there, no matter of money. Because when I open the book to look at your scores, unless they got 4.0, 3.9, okay. The affirmative action was written because your discrimination against me in school. And you got mad now because we're excelling.
Yeah.
And we're getting in there. No, stop it, reverse it. And then, this is what they do. Right? They put, they're smart. After your cap is full with admission, bring 5, 6 whites in there now. Yeah, John Splitting Gates and Horatio Johnson and them. Oh, yes, Mr. Wise, I want to come into this, we're full right now. Can you do this next semester, or can you? And you knew why you're full because these 4 plus 5 got in there, they were black. Look, statistically, these 5, and I tried to get in, and they only got in there because of affirmative action. And then an argument is created, and then a lawsuit is, and then it goes to the highest court of the land, and they reverse it. But it goes to my mans and them. The people I put in there, because remember, you didn't want to vote. That was corny to you. Oh, your woman's pregnant? She wants an abortion? Yeah. Not here. Now in New York you can't. Somewhere else? You're agenda for a while.
That I said before that they they tell you, like, if you got a criminal record, that you can't vote, but that's not true.
Oh, no, those
You know-
things have been changed.
Yeah, you know,
those things
but
have been
before
changed.
they used to say that once you got a criminal record or whatever, that you can't vote, but that's not true.
On that note, I'm sorry.
That discouraged a lot of people from voting.
Yeah.
You know, because once a brother get in trouble, you know, he think that he don't have the right to vote no more.
Yeah, right, and like the way you discouraged, because because what happens, unfortunately, because we utilize these particular areas of, you know, these, like politics and other, you know, well, oh, okay. Yeah, okay, yeah, see, I heard,
I didn't know that was reversed.
Yeah, no, not, well, in school, not because your affirmative action deals also with employment.
No,
But in school, yeah, but
we built on like the affirmative action
Yeah.
reverse.
yeah, but,
You talk about the, when you go to jail, that you can't vote. I didn't know that.
oh, not jail, we talking about in jail, that's what you said?
No, you, like, you know, they say once you start,
Oh, we have a record,
if you have a record, if you have a criminal record, then they was discouraging you from voting.
I didn't know that they did.
Yeah, they did, there's some modification to that.
Modification.
Yeah, but I don't know, that, you know, cause you're not gonna.
They didn't get, because you said, see, you use that word modification.
Yeah, different from that, we changed the whole dynamic, the whole law.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We modified the law.
Yeah, we might, when it comes to that, like, that went under the bill where they can't ask you, like, if you come to them, what is it, well, you know, of course they can't ask you, have you been arrested, right? But, I think the conviction too, I think that might have been changed.
It was just modified.
Yeah, it just kind of modified, so they kind of like.
That's something to do with knowledge too. That's like,
Yeah.
like pork ingredients. You gotta-
Oh, yeah.
You gotta do the knowledge.
Yes, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's what the 5% does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we take nothing on face value. Anything I say out my mouth, definitely I don't want you to do that. Trust me, because I would definitely want, because I love words. And I learned a lot of times the hard way, the science of research. Because I love words and how words empower people. So I never forget how, a great mind with this degree called the problem of XYZ, right? And what starts off with, before one gets into the realms of the universe, he must solve all problems of the earth first. But then it goes on to say that he who has, it says a person who proclaims to have knowledge of that which they have not is a troublemaker among themselves and uses fiction to try to solve a realistic situation. I ran with that. Oh, that was fly. Write it down. I can use that. You know what I mean? I'm using it. Until someone did the magic. Excuse me, yeah, you go. What do you mean by that? Oh, no. What do you mean by me? I just hold it to you. You're not dancing like he is? I might as well said that. But research, right? Because those are his words. Two words, but they fell. But research. You know, I had to learn along the way. You know, education, that's what we're taught. We're taught education. You know, don't open your mouth, man, unless you know what you say. Your enemy, make no mistake, he's formidable. You know what I mean by formidable?
No, sir.
Yeah, that means that your enemy's nothing to play with. He's nice. In so many words. It speaks to that. Man. But your enemy's formidable. He's
Capable.
Extremely so. Thank you for the word, God. Thank you. He's extremely capable. I'm using slang terminology to define that. You know, but yes, he's extremely capable of being against you. Because I'm saying my enemy's formidable, right? Your opponent is formidable.
That's true.
Right. No, well, yeah, he is. He's that's part of the ingredient. Yeah, but and what I mean by that is, he like the God said, like we, the 5% was one of the ones who, had started having these companies change their ingredients. You know what I mean? Because in fact, you knew you was a 5%er because when you went inside the store, they see you read the ingredients.
Especially
You see?
in the early days.
What's that? Yeah, that's still do now. It's always been. You, well, I'm gonna put it in my mouth because I don't eat pork or its byproduct. I just don't eat. I'm not just eating ham. I'm not eating lecithin. I'm not eating gelatin. Right, all those other ingredients that you know. Yes, God.
Right, you guys. When I was in Puerto Rico and I went for a little 3 days, we went to buy some candy at a factory, and my niece picked it up and she said, "Look, God, what it say here? Lord." It said, yeah, on the
That's
candy.
pointed out. That's
said-
one of the simple ones.
Yeah, she said.
Oh, that's back in the day, John.
Yeah, she
Lord.
said, yeah, she just said Lord. You know what I'm
Short,
saying?
man, that's
I said,
shortening.
oh, wow. Because I said, when we went out there, I said, you got to learn fast. So I was teaching her. You know what I'm saying? So when I bought the candy, she read it. She said, you can't eat this. It's law here. It turned, okay, it turned back on. Okay.
All right. Yeah, because you taping you too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You saying
It turned back on.
Yeah, but okay, finish what you're saying, God.
No, so you know what I'm saying? She did the knowledge before,
Yeah, 'cause you said,
because I
look,
brought
God. 'Cause
it.
you said, look, God. Look,
Yeah, she said, look, God, look what it say here. It says, Lord.
Right,
You can't
right.
eat this, so I just tossed it. You know what I'm saying? And when,
Okay.
like, where you stop at the places, like, you know, where they do food in the street, you gotta ask, you know what I'm saying? Is that pork or that's beef?
Right. But one small, maybe overlooked part of your story. Who told you that? Look, God.
My niece.
Right.
My niece. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
'Cause
Which shows the influence. See?
Right.
Right. When you come back and look, God, look at this. Right? So they're influenced by the cultural habits of you. Right? Which is good. Right? But yeah, like I said, yeah, because see, before we was coming up, you know, young lady, it was different. You know, like, I mean, I know this, you know, every shortening Lord, yeah, you know, almost every product.
animal
that you
shortening.
consume, yeah, that too, that you consume was used, and the reason why, because